So far in this course, you've learned about the string, integer, float, and Boolean data types. A list is a data type that holds an ordered collection of items. These items or values contained in a list can be various data types themselves. You can even have lists within lists. Lists are created using comma-separated values between square brackets. The format is list name equals open bracket, and then a list of items separated by commas, and finally a closing bracket. To create an empty list, just use the list name equals open bracket, close bracket. Items in a list can be accessed by index. List indices are zero-based, meaning that the first item in the list has an index of 0, the second item has an index of 1, etc. To access an item in a list using an index, enclose the index in square brackets immediately following the list name. In the example on your screen, we create a list with 3 items in it, the first item being man, the second item being bear, and the third item being pig. We assign that list to the variable animals, and then we can access each item in that list using an index. So first we print animals at index 0, which returns man, then animals at index 1, which returns bear, and finally animals at index 2, which returns pig. Not only can you access values by index, you can also set values by index. First, we create a list, and the first value is man, the second bear, and the third pig. The print statement shows that the first item at index 0 is indeed man. Now we set animals at index 0 equal to cat, and when we print animals at index 0, it shows that indeed that value is now cat. You can access items starting at the end of the list by using a negative index. The -1 index represents the last item in the list. -2 represents the second to the last item, and so on. So here we print the list of man, bear, pig in reverse order by printing animals at index -1, which is the last item on the list, animals at index -2, which is the second to last item on the list, and finally animals at index -3, which is the third item from the end of the list. To add an item to the end of a list, use the append method and pass in the item to add to the list. Here we start out with a list with 3 items, man, bear, pig. Then we use animals.append to append a string of cow to our list. If we print the last item on our list, which is located at index -1, it indeed shows that the last item in the list is cow. To add multiple items to the end of a list, use the extend method. The extend method takes a list. You pass in a list by name or create one by surrounding a list of items within brackets. In the example on your screen, we start out with a list with 3 items, man, bear, pig. In the second line of code on your screen, we pass the list of cow and duck to the extend method of the animals list. When we print that to the screen, we can see the list is now man, bear, pig, cow, and duck. Next, we create a new list that contains horse and dog. We store that list in the variable more animals. This time when we use the extend method to animals, we're going to pass in the variable more animals. And the last line of code prints our new list of animals. The complete list is now man, bear, pig, cow, duck, horse, and dog. You can also add a single item at any point in the list by using the insert method. Pass in the index where you want to add the item, followed by a comma, and then the item itself. All of the existing items in the list will be shifted by 1. In the example on your screen, we start out with a list of animals, man, bear, pig, and then we use the insert method, and we pass it index 0 and the string horse. When we print animals, we can see that horse is now at index 0, and the other 3 items in the list have been shifted up. Next, we call animals.insert and pass in an index of 2 and a value string of duck. When we print this new list of animals, we can see that duck is now at index 2 and bear and pig have been shifted up 1.